6 lucky numbers to focus and get rich on Friday, the 23rd of May, 2025. Buddhist teachings. Can a number really shift your life? Not through superstition, but through awareness, energy, and intention, the core of Buddhist wisdom. Each number carries a unique vibration, and on Friday, May 23rd, 2025, 6 powerful numbers align with the energy of focus, transformation, and prosperity. These aren't lucky numbers in the usual sense. They're symbols of deeper truths: compassion, courage, clarity, release. In Buddhist thought, true wealth begins in the mind and flows through action. When you live with mindfulness, even a number can become a guide, a mirror, a quiet teacher. So today, we're not just chasing success, we're aligning with it. Let these 6 numbers be your anchors for intention, your reminders to act with purpose and heart. Because on this special day, you're not just hoping for more, you're becoming more. Ready to discover them? Let's begin. 1. Number 22. The number 22 is not just a sequence. It is what many spiritual traditions, including certain interpretations aligned with Buddhist wisdom, consider a master number of manifestation, where inner clarity meets the outer world in creative expression. In the quiet language of numbers, 22 holds the vibration of building something lasting, something meaningful. In Buddhism, the number 2 itself symbolizes the essential balance between karuna, compassion, and prajna, wisdom, 2 wings of the awakened heart. When this is mirrored into 22, the energy is doubled, suggesting not just personal growth, but divine alignment, reminding us that while our path may be individual, we are never truly walking it alone. The Buddha once said, "With our thoughts we make the world." This is especially true on days when the spiritual and cosmic energies are heightened, such as Friday, May 23rd, 2025. A day where focusing on the essence of 22 can help you convert visions into concrete steps and hopes into actual blessings. Start your morning in silence. Gently whisper the number 22 as you breathe, visualizing 2 golden pillars beside you, one for your inner truth, the other for universal support, anchoring you in both intention and faith. As you move through your day, make it a sacred habit to take 2 conscious actions. One for your growth, perhaps learning something new or completing a long-day task, and one for someone else's joy or relief. Because, as the Dhammapada teaches, if with a pure mind a person speaks or acts, happiness follows like a never-departing shadow. Keep the number 22 close to you, perhaps on your phone background or mirror, as a quiet signal that you are supported, that your path is unfolding, and that both giving and grounded effort unlock doors to prosperity. In this modern world filled with distractions and uncertainty, the discipline of anchoring your dreams with action is rare but deeply rewarding. By harmonizing your heart with intention and your deeds with compassion, the number 22 becomes more than luck. It becomes your quiet companion in building a richer, more meaningful life. 2. Number 19. Let's talk about a number that holds deep meaning when it comes to growth, change, and renewal. 19. On the surface, it might seem like just another number, but spiritually, it carries the powerful energy of closing one chapter and stepping into a brand new beginning. In Buddhist and Eastern numerology, the number 1 is about new starts, fresh energy, and forward movement, while 9 is the symbol of completion, wisdom gained, and experiences lived. When these come together as 19, they represent the full journey from where you started to where you are now, and the opportunity to rise even higher. So, what part of your life feels ready to end, and what are you ready to begin? On Friday, the 23rd of May, 2025, the cosmic and spiritual energies align perfectly for this shift. It's a moment to reflect deeply on what's been holding you back, whether it's a fear, a habit, or even a person, and choose to release it. A simple practice you can do is write down what no longer serves your path and either burn or tear the paper. Let this physical act mirror the inner release you're committing to. Then, before you sleep, silently repeat the number 19 in your mind and picture a door behind you gently closing, while a beautiful golden one opens ahead. And when you wake the next morning, don't wait. Take one small action that aligns with the future you want. Call someone you've been meaning to, write down an idea you've been putting off, or finally start that project you've been dreaming about. Every ending is also a beginning, but only if you choose to move. As the Dhammapada reminds us, as irrigators guide water, fletchers straighten arrows, and carpenters shape wood, the wise shape their own lives. Let the number 19 remind you that by letting go, you make space for something greater. You are not stuck, you are evolving. And today might be the day you begin again, stronger and more aligned than ever. So, are you ready to close the door behind you and step fully into the next version of your life? 3. Number 7. Let's talk about the number 7. Yes, a simple number at first glance, but one that carries deep spiritual energy, ancient wisdom, and surprisingly, a strong current of prosperity that's especially powerful on Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Now pause for a moment. Have you ever noticed how often the number 7 appears in life? 7 days of the week, 7 colors in a rainbow, 7 steps the Buddha took after his birth, and with each step a lotus flower bloomed beneath him. This isn't coincidence, it's a pattern, a message from the universe that 7 is not just symbolic, but sacred. In Buddhist thought, 7 represents a path to awakening, a crossing over from confusion to clarity. When we speak of awakening in this sense, we're not talking about big, dramatic realizations. We're talking about those quiet moments when you finally hear your own truth above all the noise. So let me ask you, when was the last time you trusted your own voice, your own rhythm, instead of chasing what everyone else is doing? The number 7 invites you back to yourself. And here's the beautiful part. In the realm of energy, 7 resonates not only with spiritual clarity, but with timing, luck, and unexpected blessings. Those moments when life just clicks. Think about the last time something fell into place perfectly. Was that really luck, or were you aligning with something greater? As the Buddha said, just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. On this particular Friday in May, the cosmic soil is rich, ready for you to plant a new intention. Begin your day not by scrolling through distractions, but by pausing. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and let the number 7 echo silently within your mind. Visualize a soft golden light filling your chest, your mind, your entire being. You don't have to force anything. Just feel. This practice may seem small, but it's a powerful shift toward becoming the kind of person that luck naturally gravitates to. Then write the number 7 on a piece of paper. Keep it close, somewhere visible. Let it be a gentle reminder that you are in tune with the rhythm of the universe. Before bed tonight, bring your awareness to 3 small things you're grateful for. Anything at all. Let that feeling of appreciation soften you, and as you breathe slowly, repeat 7 like a gentle mantra. Not to attract something outside of you, but to awaken what's already within. If you've made it this far, you're already aligning yourself with the energy of abundance and wisdom. These 6 lucky numbers for Friday, May 23rd, 2025, carry powerful guidance from Buddhist teachings to help you focus, attract wealth, and move forward with clarity. Comment below with lucky focus to affirm your intention to walk this path of mindful prosperity. Stay with us. There's more insight ahead that could shift your financial journey in a meaningful way. 4. Number 38. The next number we'll focus on carries the energy of acceleration, a sacred ignition point where quiet effort transforms into visible achievement. That number is 38. Let's take a mindful breath together and tune in. In Buddhist symbolism, the number 3 stands for the harmony between body, mind, and spirit. 3 interdependent aspects of life that must move in balance for true peace and progress to unfold. The number 8, shaped like the infinity symbol when turned on its side, holds the vibration of limitless abundance and continuity. Together, 3 and 8 form a powerful spiritual code. 38 is the number of alignment and overflow, a sign that when our inner world is in balance, our outer world naturally begins to prosper. This isn't superstition. It's about energy, clarity, and intention. As the Dhammapada says, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. So if your thoughts are grounded, compassionate, and courageous, your reality begins to shift accordingly. Some people appear to attract wealth and success without effort, but what we often don't see is the invisible work they've done to align with the flow of life. Now, you're being invited to do the same. To activate the true power of 38, begin your day not by diving into your phone or rushing into tasks, but with presence. As you breathe deeply and slowly, let the number 38 echo gently in your mind, envisioning it as a wave of golden light filling every cell in your body, awakening your energy and focus. Then, take this clarity into action. Write down your 3 most meaningful life goals, whether they relate to financial freedom, loving relationships, or personal growth. Next, list 8 small steps you can take today toward each one. They don't need to be perfect, just true. Whether it's a phone call, a quiet prayer, or a commitment to rest, every action you take from a place of alignment sends a clear signal to the universe. Remember, the Buddha taught, an idea that is developed and put into action is more important than an idea that exists only as an idea. On spiritually charged days like Friday, May 23rd, 2025, when the energy of the cosmos is ripe for transformation, give yourself time to slow down and reflect. This is not about superstition, but about rhythm, tapping into the deeper current beneath the surface of daily life. Take a few quiet minutes to journal with intention. Ask yourself, what am I ready to receive? What am I willing to release? Write down your desires clearly: abundance, health, meaningful connection, and gently repeat the mantra, I am worthy of prosperity. I am ready to receive the best life has to offer. Speak it not with desperation, but with deep trust. Trust in your path, in your effort, and in the law of cause and effect. 5. Number 66. Let me share something powerful with you today. Something rooted in deep spiritual truth and yet incredibly practical for the life you're living right now. There's a number, a sacred number, that holds the vibration of the universe's most abundant energy. That number is 66. This isn't just numerology. It's a symbol of alignment, of walking a path of inner truth, of rising early, not just from bed, but in consciousness. In Buddhist teachings, the number 6 represents the 6 paramitas, the 6 perfections that lead us to awakening: generosity, morality, patience, diligence, meditation, and wisdom. When the 6 becomes 66, that energy is magnified, like a mantra echoing through a canyon, calling forth not just wealth in coins, but abundance in clarity, love, and purpose. So, how do you work with this energy? In Friday, May 23rd, 2025, wake before the first rays of sun touch the sky. In that quiet moment, find stillness. Sit and breathe gently. Picture a golden stream of light pouring from above, washing over you. This isn't fantasy. It's a way of connecting with your higher mind, your Buddha nature. Then, softly repeat 66, like a sacred chant. Let it carry through your breath and into your being. It may feel strange at first, but this simple sound can awaken something ancient inside you. Next, write the number 66 on a small piece of paper and tuck it beneath your pillow. Let your dreams be a playground for inspiration, where your subconscious meets universal intelligence. And then take time to write 6 things you're truly grateful for and 6 goals that speak to your soul. This is a sacred moment. As your pen moves, let each word carry your intention into the fabric of the universe. You're not begging for riches. You're aligning with the truth that prosperity begins in the mind and flows from the heart. Now, let me tell you a story. There was once a humble monk who tended a quiet temple garden. He was not famous, nor did he chase wealth, but every morning before dawn, he would offer gratitude to the earth and recite a simple chant while watching the sky shift colors. One day, a traveler passed by and asked, "How did you come to live such a peaceful life?" The monk smiled and said, "I wake with the light, I speak to the sky, and I walk the path of 6 truths. Everything else follows." That traveler later became a great teacher himself, always remembering those words. So now I ask you, what truths are you ready to live by? What abundance are you willing to allow into your life? This is not about superstition, it's about intention. The number 66 reminds you that you are not chasing wealth, you are awakening to it. 6. Number 43. Today I want to speak directly to you, yes you, about something that may seem simple at first glance, but holds layers of meaning beneath the surface. The number 43. Now maybe you're wondering how 2 ordinary digits could have any real impact on your life, especially on a Friday like May 23rd, 2025. But in the quiet language of the universe and through the lens of Buddhist wisdom, nothing is ever truly random. The number 43 is a signal, an invitation to real change. It's the number of breakthroughs, of gentle awakenings that ripple into powerful shifts. In Buddhist thought, impermanence is a core truth. All things rise and fall, Nothing is fixed. And so, if you've been feeling stuck, uncertain, or quietly longing for something more, a life of peace, abundance, or a sense of purpose, ask yourself, what if 43 is the reminder you've been waiting for? The moment when discomfort is not a sign of failure, but the first spark of transformation. You see, 43 combines two energies. The number 4 represents grounding, stability, and resilience, the steady mountain, while 3 brings creativity, fluidity, and joy, the flowing river. When united, they offer the perfect harmony, structure that supports your wildest dreams, and spontaneity that breathes life into your daily actions. Just think, how can you build a life of meaning if you don't first believe that you're capable of more? Each morning, sit quietly and visualize a golden bridge in front of you. With each step you imagine taking across it, silently repeat 43. Let that number become your mantra, a soft, steady drumbeat in your heart that says, I am ready. Then write it down and place it somewhere close, your wallet, your pocket, even under your pillow. Let it be a gentle but powerful reminder that you're walking a new path now, one built not only on hope, but on courage. Take a moment to reflect. What 3 things are you ready to change in your life? Be honest, be bold. There is no shame in dreaming of more. As Thich Nhat Hanh teaches, to be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others, you need to accept yourself. So today, on this sacred Friday of potential and planting, plant the seed of belief in your own becoming. Let 43 be your compass. Not a magic trick, but a sacred vow. Because the truth is, when you choose to walk forward with trust, the world begins to shift with you. Not because of the number itself, but because of what it unlocks inside you. And the question I leave you with is this: what would your life look like if you stopped waiting and started believing? Thank you for being here with us today. It's truly a joy to share this special moment with you as we explore the 6 lucky numbers guided by Buddhist wisdom for Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Your presence here means a lot. If this is your first time watching, feel free to say, I am a seeker, in the comments. And if you've been walking this path with us for a while, type, I walk with wisdom. Your comments remind us that we're building something meaningful. Together, let's continue this journey of mindfulness, luck, and abundance, side by side. 6 reasons why generosity makes you richer, spiritually and financially. In a world that often tells us to keep more, earn more, and hold tightly to what we have, generosity may seem like a soft whisper in a room full of noise. But in Buddhist wisdom, generosity, dana, is not weakness. It's the foundation of true wealth, both spiritual and material. The Buddha placed dana as the very first perfection on the path to enlightenment, not by accident, but because giving is the act that begins to unbind us from fear, ego, and attachment. And perhaps what's most surprising is that when you give with mindfulness and intention, you don't end up with less. You unlock a deeper flow of abundance. Let's explore 6 powerful reasons why generosity doesn't deplete you, it multiplies your wealth in every dimension of life. Number 1. Generosity signals abundance to the universe. When you give from the heart, without expecting anything in return, you're doing more than a simple act of kindness. You're making a powerful spiritual statement. You're telling both your inner self and the universe, that you trust in the flow of life. You're saying, there is enough. I am enough. This attitude of sufficiency breaks the grip of fear and scarcity that so often dominates modern life. We live in a world that constantly tells us we don't have enough: money, time, security, love. But when we act generously, we flip that script. We send out a different signal, one that says we believe in abundance not just for ourselves, but for everyone. In Buddhism, this idea is rooted in the practice of dana, or giving, as the Buddha taught. If beings knew, as I know, the result of giving and sharing, they would not eat without having given. Generosity doesn't deplete us, it expands us. It shifts our focus from hoarding to flowing, from fear to faith. And in that shift, something remarkable happens. Life begins to open up. Opportunities arrive, not always in the form of money, but in meaningful connections, deeper peace, and a sense of freedom from the constant need to have more. In today's fast-paced and often self-centered culture, where success is measured by accumulation, generosity is a radical and freeing act. It invites us to trust that life supports those who support others. When you give, whether it's your time, your resources, or your attention, you become a participant in the cycle of giving and receiving. This doesn't just look good morally, it changes your energetic state. You stop operating from fear and you start moving from trust, which naturally draws people and possibilities toward you. As Zen Master Dogen once said, to give is non-attachment. Just to give. Not to give for something, not to give in return, but just to give. In this way, generosity becomes a spiritual practice that rewires your inner world. It melts the walls of self-centered thinking and opens the heart to a bigger, more compassionate view of life. It teaches you that your value isn't in what you hold on to, but in what you're willing to share, and that mindset creates wealth, both spiritual and financial, because people are drawn to those who uplift, support, and care. Think about the people you most admire. Aren't they the ones who give, who show up for others, who offer their gifts without keeping score? Their wealth, whether material or emotional, flows from a deeper source, a generous spirit. So in your everyday life, whether you're helping a neighbor, tipping a server a little extra, or simply listening with presence, know that you're participating in something powerful. You're aligning yourself with the deeper truth that giving is the path to receiving, and that abundance isn't about how much you store, but how freely you let life move through you. Number 2, generosity rewires your mind from scarcity to expansion. When you give with an open heart, whether it's your time, your resources, or your kindness, something powerful begins to happen inside you. Modern science now confirms what spiritual traditions like Buddhism have taught for centuries. Giving isn't just about the receiver, it transforms the giver too. Studies show that generous acts actually activate the brain's reward system, the same area that lights up when we feel joy, love, or connection. It's not just a feel-good moment, it's a rewiring of how we see the world. Each time you offer something to someone else, no matter how small, your brain strengthens the pathways linked to happiness, trust, and empathy. This neurological shift gradually moves your mindset from one of fear and limitation, what we call a scarcity mindset, to one of openness and possibility. Think about that for a second. How often do we walk through life feeling like there's not enough? Not enough time, not enough money, not enough recognition. This mindset is deeply ingrained in modern culture, always pushing us to hoard, to compete, to hold tightly to what we have. But here's the quiet truth. Generosity is the antidote. When you give freely, you're telling your subconscious that there is enough. You're training your mind to recognize abundance, not just outside, but within. And this isn't about magical thinking or pretending your problems don't exist. It's about shifting your perception. And when your perception shifts, so do your decisions, your relationships, and eventually your financial reality. Have you ever noticed that generous people often seem happier, more at ease, and even more prosperous? Not just in wealth, but in spirit? That's not a coincidence. Generosity helps us let go of attachment, which in Buddhist teachings is one of the roots of suffering. When we cling too tightly, we create tension and fear. But when we give, we release that grip, and in doing so we make space for new ideas, for new relationships, for new blessings to enter. In fact, giving can become a kind of spiritual practice, one that breaks down the illusion of separation and reminds us that we're all connected. When you help someone else rise, even in a small way, you lift your own spirit too. And let's look at this practically. Generosity opens doors. A generous mindset helps you become more collaborative, more trusting, and more trustworthy. People are drawn to those who give without strings, and in return, opportunities often come back in ways you didn't expect. Whether it's through someone remembering your kindness or through the network of goodwill you've built, generosity becomes a form of wealth, both internal and external. When your thoughts are rooted in abundance, you're more likely to take smart risks, share your ideas, and invest in things that matter. Doesn't that kind of mindset sound like the foundation of true success? So ask yourself, are you living from a place of fear or from a place of faith in the abundance of life? What would happen if you started giving more without expecting anything back, but trusting that something greater is being set in motion? Each act of generosity is like planting a seed. You may not see the fruit right away, but over time, the garden of your life begins to change. You think differently, you feel differently, and most importantly, you live differently. And most importantly, you live differently. Here's the lesson. Generosity isn't just a virtue. It's a gateway. It transforms your brain, shifts your perspective, and aligns your life with the natural flow of abundance. When you give, you're not losing anything. You're expanding. You're growing. You're becoming someone who sees opportunity where others see lack. That's how generosity makes you truly rich, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and in every part of your life. Number 3, generosity dissolves ego and grows wisdom. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how good it feels to give without expecting anything in return? Maybe it was something small, like buying lunch for a friend who was having a tough day, or helping someone carry their groceries. Whatever it was, you didn't do it for praise or recognition, right? You just gave from the heart. And for a moment, didn't the world feel softer, more connected, more meaningful? That feeling isn't just emotional. It's a sign that your ego, that tight little sense of me, mine, I deserve, had loosened its grip. And that, my friend, is the beginning of wisdom. You see, true generosity dissolves the ego, not by force, but by quiet surrender. As the Buddha said, "If you knew what I know about the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing it." There is something truly transformative in the act of giving. It's not just about the receiver, it's about what awakens in you when you let go. In our daily lives, we are often taught to compete, to collect, to build our identity around what we own or achieve. But have you ever questioned whether that kind of success really brings peace? The ego thrives in that space. It feeds on comparison, praise, and ownership, and yet the more we feed it, the more restless we become. Buddhist teachings remind us that the self we cling to is just an illusion, fluid, impermanent, ever-changing. So when you give freely, without needing acknowledgement, you begin to break down the illusion that your identity is fixed or superior. That softening of ego doesn't make you weaker. It actually opens the door to something far greater, wisdom, because when the ego quiets down, your awareness grows. You begin to see others more clearly, to listen with an open heart, and to make decisions not from fear or pride, but from understanding. Now let's bring this down to real life. When your ego isn't in the driver's seat, think about how your relationships shift. You're not just waiting to speak or trying to prove a point. You're really present. You offer your time, your patience, your love, and that deepens connection. Even in business or finances, a wise and generous mind often makes clearer, longer-term decisions. You're not reacting impulsively or trying to win all the time. You're moving with purpose, and you build trust. And trust, as you know, is one of the greatest currencies we have. The Dhammapada says, "The fragrance of virtue spreads in all directions." When you act from genuine generosity, your life starts to reflect that fragrance. People feel it, and opportunities, love, and clarity come more naturally. So I invite you to reflect. When was the last time you gave without needing thanks? And what did that moment teach you about yourself? Generosity isn't about the amount, it's about the intention. It's a daily practice, like brushing the dust off the mirror of the mind so you can see the truth more clearly. What if today you found one small way to give, not to be noticed, not to feel better than anyone, but just to grow your own heart? You might discover that in that small act, a doorway opens, and what waits on the other side is not just a better version of you, it's a wiser, freer, more peaceful soul. Keep walking the path, one kind step at a time. As always, the journey is not out there, it begins within. If this message touched something in your heart, share it with a simple comment below. Generosity opens the heart. No need to think too much, just type those 4 words and let them be your quiet step on the path today. Number 4. Generosity plants karmic seeds of future wealth. When we give with a genuine heart, whether it's our time, money, skills, or simply a listening ear, we are planting invisible seeds in the field of life. These seeds are karmic in nature, and like all living things, they grow, sometimes slowly, sometimes quietly, but always with purpose. The law of karma, central to many spiritual traditions, and especially emphasized in Buddhism, teaches us that every action we take has a consequence. But here's the deeper truth. Generosity is not just about the act of giving, it's about the energy behind it. When you give freely, without expectation, you create a ripple that extends far beyond the moment. That coffee you bought for a colleague when they were having a rough day, the extra hour you spent mentoring someone at work without asking for recognition, or the monthly donation you make to a cause you care about. These small, seemingly ordinary acts are silently shaping your future, and while you may not notice immediate results, life has its own way of circling back with blessings that match the kindness you've put into the world. In today's fast-paced world, where transactions are often rushed and relationships can feel transactional, the idea that unseen rewards might blossom from our unseen good deeds might seem quaint. But consider how often things just seem to work out for those who live generously, not by chance, but because their consistent goodwill builds a kind of spiritual credit. This doesn't mean life will be perfect or problems won't arise, but opportunities often emerge when we least expect them. Perhaps it's a job offer that aligns perfectly with your passions, or someone stepping in to support you during a difficult time. These moments aren't luck, they're karmic echoes. What we send out into the world returns to us, though rarely in the form we imagined. And that's where the real beauty lies. Generosity transforms us, not only financially or materially, but emotionally and spiritually, preparing us to receive abundance in ways we didn't know we needed. Think about how generosity shapes your relationships. When you give without strings, people trust you. When you help without keeping score, you build loyalty. And in the world of business and career, trust and loyalty are currencies more powerful than money. A generous person attracts goodwill, and goodwill often opens doors that hard skills alone cannot. In family life too, your children or loved ones learn by example. A generous household creates a sense of abundance, even if the income is modest, because the spirit of giving brings warmth, connection, and meaning. In contrast, withholding, not just money, but time, attention, or compassion, creates a sense of lack that spreads silently through every area of life. So, as you move through your days, reflect on the kind of wealth you're cultivating. Not just the kind in your bank account, but the kind that lives in your heart, in your relationships, in the peaceful way you sleep at night. Generosity is an investment in the future. Not just your future, but the collective future we all share. It is one of the most profound acts of trust in life itself. You're trusting that what you give, in whatever form, matters. And even if you don't see the outcome immediately, you're choosing to believe in a world where kindness circulates, multiplies, and eventually returns in a form you may not expect, but always in the form you need most. That's not just karma, that's wisdom in action, and it's one of the most powerful ways to become truly rich, in spirit, in community, and yes, often even in material success. Number 5. Generosity strengthens connection and trust. Let's talk about something powerful, the deep connection between generosity and trust. Have you ever noticed how some people just light up a room, not because they demand attention, but because their kindness is genuine? When you give from the heart, whether it's your time, your energy, or your resources, something changes, not just for the person receiving, but for you and everyone around you. People are naturally drawn to those who uplift others, not because they're expecting something in return, but because their presence feels safe, warm, and real. That's what true generosity does. It turns everyday interactions into meaningful connections. And in every corner of life, your business relationships, your friendships, even in your own family, generosity builds a kind of trust that can't be faked or bought. You see, generosity isn't just about giving money or gifts. It's about offering your presence when someone needs to be heard, your patience when someone makes a mistake, your support when someone is struggling. When people feel seen, valued, and cared for, they remember it. They lean in. They open up. That's how bonds are formed. Not just casual ones, but deep, lasting ones. And in a world where people are often guarded and suspicious, someone who gives sincerely becomes like a rare oasis in the desert. As the old saying goes, trust is earned drop by drop, but lost in buckets. And generosity is one of the surest ways to earn those drops. Ask yourself this: who do you trust the most in your life? Is it someone who always tries to get the upper hand, or someone who's been generous with their time, their advice, their presence, even when they didn't have to be? When we give with sincerity, we become trustworthy not just in the eyes of others, but in how we carry ourselves. Our actions align with our values, and that brings a quiet confidence that others can feel. That's why generosity makes you magnetic, not in an arrogant way, but in a way that makes people feel safe around you. In business, this can open doors that no amount of money can buy. In personal relationships, it creates a space where love, respect, and loyalty can grow. And in community, it builds unity, healing, and mutual respect. But here's something even deeper. Generosity reminds us of our shared humanity. It says, I see you, I care about you, you matter. And when that message is sent consistently through action, not just words, it becomes the foundation for real trust. And trust, especially today, is more valuable than gold. You can't fake it, you can't fast-track it, but when it's built through generosity, it's stronger than any contract or handshake. It's the kind of trust that people remember when they decide who they want to work with, who they want to stand beside, and who they want to grow with. So, take a moment and reflect. Where in your life can you practice more generosity? Not out of obligation, but out of genuine care. How would that shift the way people experience you? How would it shift the way you experience life? In the end, the message is simple. When you give, you're not just offering something to others. You're shaping the kind of person you are and the kind of relationships you attract. Generosity doesn't just open hearts, it opens doors. It builds trust that lasts, and trust creates opportunity. So whether you're seeking stronger relationships, meaningful success, or a deeper sense of peace, start by giving with sincerity, not to get something back, but to be someone worth trusting. That's a richness no one can take away. Lesson to take with you. When we choose generosity, not just in things, but in spirit, we lay the foundation for trust. And trust is what strengthens every connection in our lives. The more we give with open hearts, the more we become a source of light in a world that deeply needs it. Number 6. Generosity aligns you with your highest purpose. Let me speak to your heart for a moment, because what we're about to explore goes deeper than money, status, or success. We're diving into the 6th and perhaps most profound reason why generosity makes you richer, both spiritually and financially, and that is, generosity aligns you with your highest purpose. Now, take a breath and sit with that. Have you ever given something, not out of obligation or pressure, but because it felt deeply right? In that moment, didn't you feel more alive, more connected, more you? When we give with mindfulness and sincerity, we're not just offering a resource, we're stepping into our most authentic self, and that self, according to many Buddhist teachings, is not separate, not isolated, but intimately woven into the fabric of all beings. The Buddha once said, "If you knew what I know about the power of giving, you would not let a single meal pass without sharing it in some way." That's not just about food. It's about your time, your presence, your compassion. When you live generously, you are aligning your actions with your deeper nature, which is to serve, to uplift, to be of benefit to others. You are no longer functioning on autopilot or chasing empty goals, but rather you're consciously choosing to live from a place of purpose. And that purpose, call it Dharma, soul's calling, or simply the right thing, creates a kind of inner wealth that no one can take from you. It's the quiet joy of knowing your life is part of something meaningful. Have you ever noticed that when you act generously, your heart feels lighter? That's not a coincidence. In fact, many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, describe generosity, or dana, as the first of the 10 perfections on the path to enlightenment. It's the foundation because it begins to dissolve the grip of ego, the sense of separation, the constant hunger for more. And when that softens, what naturally rises is joy, peace, and a sense of enoughness. Now I want to ask you something. What if giving, whether it's money, love, forgiveness, or simply your attention, wasn't a transaction but a form of awakening? What if every act of generosity brought you one step closer to your true self? That's not just poetic, it's deeply practical. People often think that in order to be generous, they have to have extra time, extra money, extra energy. But real generosity doesn't come from abundance, it creates abundance. Think about this. Have you ever supported someone even when you yourself were struggling and somehow you felt more full afterwards? That's the miracle of giving. It multiplies what we think we're losing. From a financial perspective, generosity opens doors. When people trust your heart, they want to work with you. Opportunities flow toward those who give without fear, because their energy speaks of courage, wholeness, and faith in something greater. Isn't it true that the most magnetic people are often those who give freely, not just materially, but emotionally and spiritually? So, as you reflect on this, ask yourself, what does my highest self want to give to the world today? How can I align my daily actions, big or small, with a purpose greater than myself? As you carry this question into your day, remember this simple Zen teaching. To give is to let go is to be free. And freedom, dear friend, is the richest form of wealth there is. Keep walking the path, one generous act at a time, and you'll find that the more you give, the more your life reflects who you are always meant to be. As we've seen today, these 6 numbers are not just digits, they're reminders. Reminders to live with awareness, to act with purpose, and to align your energy with the deeper rhythms of life. On this powerful Friday, let them guide your intentions, shape your actions, and awaken the abundance already within you. If this message spoke to your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who may need a little clarity or inspiration, and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom for more teachings rooted in mindfulness, purpose, and prosperity. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming insights. Until next time, stay grounded, stay generous, and keep walking your path, one mindful step at a time.